So we hear you're looking for big trees, like really big trees. Well, have we got the spot for you. Join us on a trip to Calaveras Big Trees State Park. Hello and welcome to Road Trip Guys. After our recent video on the coast redwoods, the emails, letters, telegrams, they poured in asking us to do a video on the other redwoods in California, the giant sequoias.
Telegrams?
Yeah, I've got one right here.
Let me see that. Yeah, this is a telegram from your grandparents congratulating your parents when you were born.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're old.
Yeah, weren't we talking about the redwoods? Besides, compared to the redwoods, I'm young. Located about 3 miles north of the little town of Arnold, Calaveras Big Trees State Park encompasses the first grove of giant sequoias ever seen by Europeans. In the spring of 1852, Augustus T. Dowd was tracking a wounded grizzly bear and came upon a forest of enormous trees. Dowd was a colorful character, and at first his story was considered a tall tale, until he finally coaxed a group of men to visit the grove to see these majestic wonders for themselves. I'm telling you, they're the biggest trees you've ever seen. They're huge.
Whatever, Augustus.
There are 3 species of trees called redwoods. The Dawn redwood is native to China. The other 2 are native to California. The coast redwood along the northern and central coast, and the giant sequoia, which grows in scattered groves on the western slopes of California's Sierra Nevada mountains. Both are magnificent wonders of nature. What makes these trees so amazing? Well, as you may have guessed from the name giant sequoia, they're big. While not the tallest trees in the world, that honor goes to their cousins, the coast redwoods. They are the most massive trees in the world, and are in fact the largest living things ever to exist on Earth. They grow to an average height of between 160 and 280 feet, and an average trunk diameter of 20 to 26 feet. Their enormous size makes it almost impossible to capture their true majesty in a picture or on film. The fossil record of redwoods dates back 180 million years to the age of the dinosaurs. The trees grow to an extraordinary age and are among the oldest living things on Earth. The oldest known giant sequoia, based on ring count, is 3,500 years old.
I've got underwear older than that.
I really wish I could unhear that. Once widespread, they now grow naturally only in 75 groves on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada. So while you can find planted examples in many places, the special conditions of their native habitat means this is the only place in the world they will reproduce naturally.
Imagine what the first Europeans to see these trees must have said. What magnificent trees are these?
Indeed.
You're not going to say, let's cut these all down, are you?
No. But we could strip the bark off one of them and display it. I think the people in London and New York would really dig it.
But won't that kill the tree?
No. Maybe? Probably not, no.
I don't think that's really what they said.
You're probably right.
These are big trees.
The biggest.
Now that's more like it.
Unfortunately, that whole stripping the bark off a tree thing really happened. In 1854, the second largest tree in the grove, called the Mother of the Forest, had all its bark stripped and then shipped around Cape Horn to New York, where the outer trunk was reassembled for display. In 1856, it was shipped to London and displayed at the Crystal Palace. Thousands of spectators came to see this wonder. Although it did have one unfortunate side effect. Removing the bark also killed the tree. you can still see the sad remains of the mother of the forest in the Calaveras grove of big trees. Make your first stop the visitor center. With helpful staff and interesting displays, it's a great place to start your visit to the park. There are many trails in Big Tree State Park. One of the easiest is the North Grove Trail. It's a loop about 1.5 miles long, self-guided, and relatively level.
When we stopped at the visitor center, a very wise volunteer told us the trail would take about an hour and a half.
We thought to ourselves, we walk about 3 miles an hour. How can this trail take an hour and a half?
Well, when you get there, you'll see.
Here are a few of our favorite spots on the North Grove Trail. The Big Stump was the first tree spotted by our friend Augustus T. Dowd, and sadly, the first cut down. It took about 6 men several weeks to bring down this mammoth tree. The trunk was planed smooth to serve as a dance floor. Don't miss the mother of the forest, that poor tree stripped of its bark for display over 1.5 centuries ago. The father of the forest fell long before Europeans discovered the grove. Because of the tannin in their heartwood, the process of decomposition occurs very slowly in giant sequoias. This tree has always been a favorite of photographers, and it's easy to see why. A little further down the slopes of the Sierras, or as Californians might say, a little ways down the hill, is California's historic Gold Country, also called the Mother Lode. Stretching along California Highway 49, the Golden Chain Highway, you'll find a string of charming Gold Rush era towns. California's Highway 49 is named for the famed 49ers of the 1849 California Gold Rush. In fact, California's state highway markers are in the shape of a miner's spade, an homage to those hardy pioneers. Many of these towns are beautifully preserved, and a trip up or down Highway 49 is a great way to spend an afternoon. Each town is unique, and most offer shopping, dining, antique stores, and a healthy dose of California Gold Rush history. So you may be wondering why we're traveling in a little green car instead of our truck. Simple. Have you seen the price of gas in California? The Prius gets about 52 miles to the gallon, the Silverado about 20. Of course, you can't tow much with the Prius. Don't try this at home, kids. And 20 miles per gallon isn't bad for something that can tow over 9,000 pounds. And it's so comfortable. I love that truck. Why did I wait so long to buy a truck? So many wasted years without a truck.
Anyway, that's it for the giant sequoias.
I guess we're not talking about the truck anymore?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
And if you haven't yet, please subscribe.
And feel free to share.
Newton, go find subscribers. Good boy.